Holy crap, did they just jump in? Oh, they already jumped in.
I think they were at 28 seconds.
Now they're loading in. That was quick as fuck. Bruh. I think we're live.
We may or may not be live here on the North American Racing Series YouTube channel. If we are, cool. If not, I'm talking to myself.
Nope, we are. We are live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the NARS Cup Series. This week coming to you from Martinsville, the short track with a bunch of beating and banging and a bunch of roughed up attitudes, especially coming back for the second half of the season after our All-Star break last week at Iowa. And in the booth with me, as you just heard, is my best partner in crime, Timmy, as we are green flag.
We've already completed the first lap. Hockey Bukaki and that 10 car got the pole. So far, everyone keeping it cordial. We still got about 249 more laps of this, so everyone better get acquainted with each other, because it's going to be a long night.
And Hockey Bukaki already has some wall damage to that number 10. Jacob up a position, started third, up to P2. Aussie rules means, unfortunately, went from second to third, but luckily that's as far back. Oh, car's going squirrely. 38, Snowy doing a barrel roll.
I might have to turn to my trusty weather forecast because I see a lot of cars putting the tarps up. 38's in the pits, the 48
yes.
48 is Zach's in the pits. I saw the 9 car, the 4 car, pushing heaven, Slick Nick. Yeah, I think it's going to be one of those nights, unfortunately.
Well, good, because we weren't ready for this one anyway. That's what they get for starting and not giving us a warning.
In the meantime, Hockey Bukaki now has a comfortable lead out on the racetrack. He's going to go for the Ross Chastain line, and he dies. The Ross Chastain line doesn't work here on Heat 5, unfortunately. I think
they nerfed it.
Thought of it. They thought it through before Ross ever even attempted it. Speaking of Ross, Jet Blast in the 1 car, Advent Health Chevy, the last car on track. He's doing a Ross impression on the opposite end of the track. Now that puts that lobby to an end. Now the clouds have rolled in. The rain is starting to pour down. Ladies and gentlemen, the lag storm is here. Hold on, I got a soundboard for this.
No way you do.
No, it's perfect. Hold on.
Oh, I'm anxiously waiting.
I hope that's coming through well. Disregard, this one sucks.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, but you know what? You know what we turn to next? The power of imagination. Just imagine if someone watching out there lives where it's sunny, like right now I'm on the West Coast, the sun's out. But if you're somewhere where it's raining, look out your window. That's what's going on in Martinsville, Virginia right now, but in the form of terrible internet.
Man, I hate that the sun's still up for you. It's been like 2 hours of darkness over here. On the far east coast. Also, a little bit late on the start tonight. A couple people that were running behind that we had to wait for. So, hey, I hope these guys don't forget about our invites, dog. Oh, Slick Nick got me. All right. Did you get one?
Not yet. I'll probably join off you if I don't get one. If it lets me. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't.
Also, we need to get... Where's John? John Waterforce was supposed to be up here.
Maybe he's also running late. Who knows?
I don't know. It's probably why he was not available tonight. John Waterforce not in the race.
Say, why would he be up here and not out there?
Yeah, I don't know. Probably because he was going to miss the start of the race, so he figured... Oh, there's Jacob now. Okay, so now they're sending up the invites.
Got me covered.
Now we're good.
Say, bro won the All-Star race and wants to take a week vacation? Come on now. Gotta stay on the grind. It's not over yet. We back up and running now? Oh,
not yet. They're still paused. Well, while they're paused, we can finally get a chance to get the points run down. Jet Blast still your points leader, ahead of Aussie Rules in the 19. Comfortable lead at about can't do math. But they're jumping in now, so I don't have to. Yay! We love skipping out on math. That's what I did in college. All right, let's see if the second verse will be better than the first.
The first song was just an introductory track. The second one will actually be a full-length song.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's one of those like prog metal instrumentals, so it's probably gonna be like 28 minutes long.
All right, here we go. The preemptive green flag start. Now the drivers will slow up and get them all lined back up again to go
for the. They're 3
further.
wide. They're 4 wide. Wow! Look at Hockey go. Riveting.
Get on with Mr. Hockey Bukaki, which is awesome. This is really going to be awesome. Skipping to find the driver now.
You don't have the actual lineup to go off of anymore. It's all random now.
Yep.
That was half my time in Phantom. You have to get ready for that.
Here we go. Hockey takes the green flag. We are back racing at Martinsville. By back racing, I mean getting ready to take lap 1. Couple of drivers getting squirrely there through turns 1 and 2. The look back cam will show us all. And we survive a lap. Hockey Bukaki leads the 77 of Jacob. And behind him, the 48 and the 19 of Aussie Rules. Zach in 6 up to 3rd. Meanwhile, the hunt is on for the race lead. It's a 77 trying to run down Hockey Bukaki in the 10.
And this is such a rhythm racetrack, and Hockey has the luxury of being all by himself at the front. You know, we mentioned clean air, but the air doesn't really have an effect on a track this small and this flat, but it can allow him to concentrate and focus on just running the laps. He doesn't have to worry about running into somebody or getting ran into, so he can focus on his line, knowing how much he can brake, when to brake, what lines he's able to run, how close he can get to those candy canes on the left side. Some of them are going to cut it really close and even hop the curve. Saw a couple of them outside the top 5 do that. It's very treacherous. You don't want to get that close to it, otherwise it upsets the bounce of the car and you basically go all the way up to the blacktop, and that's where you don't want to be.
Yeah, we saw that just a little bit there from Pushing Heaven in the 4. As we were looking on the back of the 48, looking back from the 48, Pushing Heaven got up on 2 wheels as he hit those candy canes down on the inside. Able to actually save it and move up a spot on the circuit. So it worked out in the end for him, but Aussie right now under fire from the 34. Has him all over his trumpet. The 77 took a... not the 77. Sorry, I was getting the 38 and the 77 mixed it up. From a distance, they both look like they have matching schemes. Yeah, I believe that's the 34 of Reinov. That is Reinov trying to advance his way through the top 5, trying to get the 4th place position there from Ozzy, who caught the candy cane, diving it too shallow inside of 3 and 4. Hopped it a little bit, not enough room though for Reinov to get in. And now the hunt is back on for P3 as Zach N6 trying to hold off the 19 as well. So multiple drivers having to play defense here on a track where that can be very difficult.
Yeah, very difficult indeed, and you don't want to look in your mirror throughout this race, but I feel like you don't really have much of a choice. Your eyes just naturally gravitate towards what's going on behind you if there's a car that close in your mirror, because when the bump's coming, because it will, you best get ready for it. And I think, you know, if you're in Zach's position, like right there, if he was looking in his mirror, he would have been ready for that. And he was able to hold his line. He's still going to put up a challenge against Aussie Rules, who has the preferred line in the 3, but he was able to break a little later and get back even with the 19. But Aussie just a better exit out of 4. Still not quite clear yet of the 48. And, you know, Zach doing exactly what he needs to do.
Oh!
He was doing exactly what he needed to do up until that point, and now 2 more spots lost by the front row duo of Reinov and Snowy getting by.
Yeah, just a little bit of contact, got a little bit too wide. Had to turn 4 and collected the outside wall, and Reinov and Snowy could do nothing but take the positions away that he was giving away. The other driver moving up through the field is that 24 T-Dog. He just got by the 45 and is now sitting in the sitting in the 7th position. Sorry, not the 6th. As up front with the leader, Hockey Bukaki still not shaking Jacob off. They're still relatively close together.
Sideways out of 4, the 4 out of 4, pushing Heaven. Got pushed out of the groove somehow. I don't know how that happened, but he was facing the wrong way.
Oh, did that just bring out a yellow? No. Okay. This car was jittering around. I thought the game, like, caught it back on track, but no, it's just something he did. Oh, Aussie Rules got real squirrely just then. Out of turn 4, I just saw on his stream, he was damn near sideways. He was sideways out of turn 4. Saved it.
And here's the next active battle between the 10 and the 77. Is navigating through these 2 lap cars. CCR and the 20 already got lapped. The 4 we saw sideways. He's now in danger of getting a lap down. Gives the leader just enough room, but he doesn't want to give it up that easily. He doesn't want to fall a lap down. But try as he might, no match for that Smithfield 4. Now he has to give way for the 77. To not slow him down any more than he did with the 10. That's going to be good for the 77. He closed the gap for the lead, and now we have our guest analyst has finally joined us in the booth tonight.
Mr. John Waterforce up in the booth.
What's up, guys?
Welcome. We do got an early retirement. We actually kind of heard it during the pre-race warm-up that Jet Blast wasn't going to be able to finish out the race, so it was a start and park for the 1 tonight, and he kept his word on that, so the 1 car out early in stage 1. So unfortunate for any Jet Blast fans that are watching. I know he's been one of the faster guys in this league, but unfortunately for him, it won't be one of those nights. We'll get him back next week.
Yeah, no, and that's your points leader right now as they run up by a substantial amount, so he can afford a start and park right now, but it's going to tighten up for P2, especially if the 19 can really capitalize on the stage finishes and the end of this race. Right now, he runs third on track, finally just catching the two lap cars. Your two leaders just got by. Man, gets into the wall out of 4. A lot of drivers having trouble out of turn 4, trying to stay out of that outside wall.
Yeah, turn 4 it's a surprising trouble spot. And if you're not careful, if you get too hard on the gas late, a car wants to snap around. And we nearly saw that with the 19 as he was trying to get around the lap car. He's still running in third at the moment. He's about 6 seconds back from the leader.
Look at the lap traffic these leaders have to get through. D'Artagnan goes a lap down. The 9, gets real close and personal with the 10. But Bukaki gets by, but that's not without a challenge back from the inside from the 9. No, the 9 stays out of it. And now the 77 looking to make quick work. Puts the bumper to him. Out of my way, sir. I'm on a mission. Zach and Jacob, sorry, not N6. I don't know why I keep getting Jacob and Zach mixed up.
Yeah, this is a track where you normally see Jacob run really well. These short tracks, he's really good at these tracks.
Got a little swirly there out of turn 4. Lost a little bit of time to Hockey. Oh, the 5 crossed him. Oh, and he took his line away going into turn 3. I don't know why the 5 did that. Why he just cut to the inside instead of giving the bottom up.
I think I don't know, it looked like he got out of shape and he was kind of already down there, but you know, at that point, I'm already lifting before we even get to the turn so we don't end up side by side. And that same goes if you're on the outside. You don't want to be door to door with the guy that's lapping you out of the turn, because that slows them up and that puts you in an uncomfortable spot. So I usually just let off a lot more in the middle of the turn if I'm in that position. I mean, it's still a long race, but unfortunately a lot of guys are already getting put a lap down. And it's going to be good for someone like Hockey, because that's, as the leader, you want to put as many of these guys a lap down as possible.
Zach
you don't have to worry too much about anybody. And we got the 45, really loose out of 2. That's the next car in danger of getting lapped. That's Daytona.
Yeah, right now watching the battle between Zach and 6 and the 48 and the 38 of Snowy. This is for position. What position it is, I do not know. But these two are the closest to each other, battling for position that are on the lead lap. But it looks like Snowy's starting to break away from that 48. As now we see Aussie Rule is catching those 3 lap cars, and they're all taking that second lane, leaving the bottom open for all leaders trying to get through.
I know, I'd imagine a lot of these drivers are ready for a caution or something, so they can go and adjust their car. There's a lot of guys I'm looking all around the track. They're out of shape, off the corners, which is easy to do. Very easy to get loose.
Whoa, the 24 round Hockey in it! Hockey spun! Yellow out! Oh, what happened with the 24 out of turn 4? T-Dog was just sideways in front of the entire field. Hockey Bukaki couldn't miss him. Collects into there. That's going to have major front end damage that he has to fix on pit road. Already lost the lead because the caution came out late. Now has to go down pit road and fix the damage.
If I may interject for a second, if anyone has access to Jacob's stream, go and watch his point of view, because oh my god, that was some heads up driving from the 77 to get through it. The 24 was already stopped out of 4 by the time he got there. Hockey had nowhere to go. The 45 at Daytona piled in, so that was a 3-car pileup. And the 77 just slithers and slides right through on both sides as we're going back to green. His YouTube handle is Jacob. It's basically his PlayStation handle, Jacob LK14. Yeah, go check that out. That was quite a drive from what is now our race leader. Now he's getting the bumper from Aussie Rules in that 19.
And look at where the 10 is. He's down to 5th after taking a little bit of time on pit road, which is so much better than where I thought he was going to go. I thought he was going to go all the way to the back end of the lead lap cars.
But this is, and that's kind of where he was, because again, that's the advantage to putting half the field a lap down this early in the race. For a setback like that, he gave himself a huge cushion to fall on with the pace that he was establishing early on. And oh my God, Reinov the 34 with a shake-up in front of the 48. Hockey ready to pounce out of 4. This is for the 4th position.
And this is not what Hockey Bukaki wants to see right now, because that 77, has been able to keep up with him in a lot of areas. So if Jacob can now get into a rhythm and not have to worry about running anybody down and really work on his rhythm, he can put some space between him and Hockey once Hockey, if he can get to second again, because, man, Zach in 6 is giving him everything he can handle right now, just trying to get to 4th. .22 laps remaining in this stage. So we'll see.
I tell you, a guy you can watch is the 34. He's got that quiet speed. He's really good at putting together good finishes. And, he's searching for a win, his first ever win in the NARS Cup Series. So he's really hungry for that.
Right now he sits in 3rd, trying to find a way past Aussie Rules. Trying to do it. Oh, wow. Aussie putting the bumper to the 77. Gets him up wide. Unfortunately, though, the momentum stays or goes with the 77 of Jacob, and that will now open the door for Reinov on the back end.
It was a good move by Aussie to slam the door shut in his face, because he put himself in a vulnerable spot when Reinov was peeking the nose down low. You're in a very compromising position when you're side by side entering the turn. He just charged the entry. That time he wasn't able to. The 34 was a lot closer. They're door to door now. This is where running that outside at your advantage can pay off. It's not the line to be, but it's a good line to defend.
Don't look behind him
right now. They got a mirror full of Bukaki.
Haha, that's right. Hockey Bukaki able to get by.
Reinov's in trouble.
Oh, Reinov with a little bit of a situation.
I think he's got some stability issues right now. His car is zigzagging a little bit.
Yep, very much so. I'm riding on with him, and it is very sporadic. Not good, especially if you're the 10 trying to find your way around him. We'll see how this 34 will race it.
I think the 10 might... I gotta find if Hockey has a stream up, because he might have some damage from that. This is probably the one track, though, where damage doesn't have too much of an effect on your handling, but still not necessarily wanted here, because these corners are so tight. If you have a front end that's completely plowing, that's just gonna wear you out pretty quickly. But he's caught back up to these two. The 34 and the 19 are kind of holding each other up, with the 10 closing in. The 34 stacks the 19 up. Yep, that was another one.
Yep, that was bad out of turn 4. I'm watching on his stream. That was straight up lag spike out of turn 2.
If I'm the 19 or the 10, I'm making race control aware of that. And we got a yellow on the track. Is that the end of the stage, or? No,
in game yet. No, manual caution.
Yeah, those could have been thrown. Usually the administrators, whatever, they'll throw cautions whenever a big lag situation happens. And I imagine they're probably talking about maybe the 34 moving to the back here. Is usually the procedure. We'll see.
Hockey doesn't have a stream up, unfortunately.
I love listening in during these manual yellows. Is that I can just hear the spotter saying, clear outside. I can still hear the spotter in the game doing its shit, and everybody's doing like 45 miles an hour.
The funny thing is anyone that has the Tony Stewart spotter pack, and anytime he goes outside, like you tell Tony just didn't give a shit when they asked him to record those lines.
Probably not. I think the 10 stayed out. 20.
24 stayed out.
Yeah, that's about half and half, it looks like. Yeah.
Bukaki trying to get that track position back that he lost after getting into it with T-Dog.
Yeah, Bukaki's one of those drivers, man. He's due for a win. He's very capable of winning week in and week out. He's a really good driver.
Yeah, he's shown a lot of speed as of late. He's been really showing his speed all year, but like you said, just hasn't accumulated itself into a win.
Yeah, he was definitely a handful last week, I can tell you that.
As for the pit road report, the 19 of Aussie Rules took 2 tires on that stop. The 77 of Jacob took 4. Everyone else is up in the air.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to take 2 here, but I've seen Aussie Rules pull off some stuff before, so I'm not going to knock him. See what happens here.
I'm still trying to sort out the lineup, the 20 car for CCR. So he's going to drop to the back of the line. That's going to possibly move up. I mean, again, some of these guys took the wave around. I don't know who's back on the lead lap and who still has a lap to gain back, but the 14 car, didn't expect this. D'Artagnan's second car on the inside.
Yeah, he is on the lead lap.
24, and so with the 24 T-Dog as well. So keep an eye on those guys. We got the front row cars of Snowy and Reinov lined up on the outside.
On old tires, so we'll have to see with the 77 back there on the freshies. And Bukaki takes the green.
That was a good launch from the outside. Oh, they're
Herp dirt.
they're good.
Pushing the
They're
show.
3 wide. Aussie making a move 3 wide.
Oh, that was a great move. Here comes Snowy. Snowy's holding pace with the 10.
Oh, we're about to see what fresh tires can do. Aussie Rule is really plowing his way through the field. He's got the 77 in tow, but lag stormed in the 34. Might as well have a giant rain cloud hanging over that car. But right now back up to P3. Aussie Rule is trying to get to 4th. Snowy in hunt of your race leader, Hockey Bukaki, as Aussie and Jacob are now up back into the top 5. And we've hit that little bit of a plateau. They got to figure it out a little bit, but Hockey Bukaki a little bit under fire from Snowy. Oh, Reinov into the lag bits again.
Oh, that's a big one.
That was a huge one by the 34. Might have
It worked out in his favor, though. It stacked everyone else up behind him, it looks like.
Yeah, and it might. I don't know what the protocol is for this kind of thing, but that is huge setback for Ozzy, who's closing in on the race leaders. And that allows Jacob to go by.
Snowy had a bad exit out of 4. He was just reeling that 10 car back in. The stage went on the line. This is going to be a great call for Hockey. He's got the distance to hold that 38 car off. And the guys on tires, well, they're still stuck back there. It's going to pay off for them under the brake, because I imagine they're going to stay out. Unless they need to take some more fuel, but...
Yeah, we got coming to the white flag when they cross the line. This is 2 to go. Next time by, as they come out of turn 4, they will, or Hockey Bukaki will see the white flag. 1 lap to go here in stage 1, and he's got a hot country mile in between him and Snowy running in second. Is now down the back straightaway into turn 3 for the final time in stage 1. He will come out of turn 4. See the green and white checkered flag waving. He'll do a little dance out of 4. And he, Hockey Bukaki, will take the stage 1 win. And I will whack my damn knee off a TV tray. Ow! I don't know if you heard that.
I think I did. That's
And
why
a
I'm
tonk.
laughing.
Ow! All right, so it was Hockey Bukaki finishing in first, Snowy second, Reinov third, Jacob fourth, Aussie Rules rounds out the top 5, Zach in sixth, Daytona 7th, T-Dog 8th, Pushing Evan 9th, and Slick Dick Nick rounding out the top 10 there in stage 1. As we get ready to go back to green, side by side, Hockey Bukaki and Snowy. They were getting into it at the end of stage 1. How will it be at the start of stage 2? Back under green as they go into turn 1. Oh, the 34. Oh, no! The 34 trying to play nice and drop to the bottom to get out of the way because of how bad his server, the servers are loving him right now. And Ozzy went down with him and got held up in it. Now lost a ton of time. 45 around. Daytona around, right in front of the entire field. How nobody else hit him is beyond me.
Yeah, another close call for Aussie, and unfortunately for him, I'm looking at his onboard right now. I think he was already wedged up behind the 34 as now we got the caution out on the track. I think he probably didn't really get the signal that the 34 was going to move out of the way, or maybe the 34 just didn't time it right. Like that transaction could have gone over a little more smoothly. But big setup for the stack up for the 19 to lose that many positions. But now we got ourselves a caution to catch our breaths once again.
Look at the.
He was asked to go to the rear due to his lag, so that's what he was trying to do. Unfortunate that Aussie got caught up in that, but he's a good enough driver. He can bounce back.
Oh, a couple of drivers faking out. Nice. You don't see that anymore in real life. You don't see that fake out. Drivers faking they're going, or the leaders faking they're going down pit road to see if they can trick anybody else to go in.
Dude, as someone that runs a lot of official races on iRacing, it's so commonplace. The fake out on pit road is as common as breathing. It's insane.
Huh.
Everyone does it. It's so annoying.
Yeah, I got faked out this past week. I was going to pit road anyway, though. Joke's on them.
Haha. Sometimes I fake out just because I have no freaking clue if I'm pitting or not. Like, oh no, okay, because they're not pitting, I'm not pitting either. Or the leaders will pit, I'm like, yeah, I'm pitting. If I have no idea, but if I knew that I was gonna go opposite, then I would fake out on purpose. Because I do know what I'm doing sometimes.
Yeah,
Now we got the choose underway hockey. Hockey's made that outside work really well. This isn't really the track I would want to be on the outside. But hockey
really
made it work
do
the last restart.
If you really know what you're doing, you could probably make the outside work, but if I was a 10, I'd have been on the bottom. But he's getting such a good launch, it doesn't even really matter. 38, he looks pretty good. The 38's, I've watched him race for a long time. He's nice.
That's nice.
Thank you. No one else is
Anyway,
nice?
back to green.
That.
Clear or not.
Oh, the 77 clears himself, and that stacks everybody up behind. Woo! That is not what the 10 car needed to see right there. That is the one driver who can really keep up with him. And now sits back in second, and the cat and mouse game we saw through the majority of stage 1 is back underway here in the start of stage 2.
Tell you what, hockey's got that Ford Mustang in the wind. It's really nice to see. He is really pacing well.
I think I talked to Hockey, but I talked to one of these drivers that was real. I think it was Hockey. Because I think he finished top 3 last week, right?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, so it was Hockey, because Hockey was very confident coming into this race that he was going to have a really good day. He said Martinsville was a track he felt super confident on. Boy, howdy, is he showing it. Absolutely blitzing the field right now. The 77, who is able to keep pace with him for the most part through stage 1, now really struggling as Hockey Bukaki just looks like he is on the push to pass button in IndyCar this whole time out in front.
I've said before, this is a rhythm-based track, and Hockey's got a pretty good sense of rhythm right now. He's able to hit those marks every single lap. And be able to do that consistently is gonna pay him dividends.
Oh, 4 around! Oh, no! What in the hell?
Oh, there's a big stack up out of 4. They were nearly 4 wide, starting with the 19 and the 9.
Oh, no. Push in Heaven got completely spun around. The 19 missed him. 45 didn't. After hitting the 4, the 45 got up into Aussie rules, and they both went into the outside wall through 4.
And I think we have another caution. The leaders are slowing down in 2.
Yes, yellow out again. Martinsville, also no stranger to the yellow flag. And these rhythm and blues sections through 3 and 4 have really been causing some issues throughout the field. As this is not what Hockey wanted to see. He was doing well to get into his rhythm and run away from the whole damn field. And now he has everybody breathing down his neck once again for yet another restart.
I know the reason he's fast is he's heating up his tires.
True. Well, we saw some guys come down last time. Will we see him come down this time? Hockey fakes out the field. The 77 fakes out the field. Wow. Everybody else but 2 or 3 come down pit road. So 5 cars stay out. Everybody else going to get fresh stuff And that starts, I think, with a 38 of Snowy, and it does.
So right here, this is the race for 6th.
This is going to
Again,
be really interesting here. The mix
that's
here.
right. Snowy's car's facing the wrong way in his pit stall. I don't think it's supposed to do that.
No. And you got to think, too, is the 34 getting better or worse as it relates to his streaming problems?
2 tires is the call again for the 19.
He's tired of being back in traffic. That's exactly what it is.
Well, he's still going to be back in traffic.
I'm not sure what 2 tires gets you, really. I mean, out of
Track position.
Yeah, that.
you're going to end up losing it, though. Your car is not going to handle that great, at least in my experience. Going 2 tires on a short track, it's just pain.
I'm curious at
Agony.
Martinsville, like how much are the left side tires really wearing here? That's my question.
You'd think as many times as we've raced, league raced, and all that, we would know.
Anytime I've ever league raced and I saw Martinsville on the schedule, I'd immediately take that week off. I never ran a league race here.
Well, here we go. Back under green. Again here in stage 2. 8 are set to complete lap 17. Get to 18 at 34, getting into it with the 77.
Seeing a little bit of lag out of 34. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Snowy has a ginormous roadblock, or is being a tremendous roadblock as the field's stacking up behind him through 3 and 4.
Yeah, well, I imagine Snowy's going to get away at some point. 'Cause he just got
45 around again! And heavy front end damage for the 45 of Daytona.
Ooh, the 4 pancaked the inside wall. Further back in the pack, but
Man,
yeah, my point about Snowy, again, he was one of the cars that pitted. He was getting around the guys that didn't. So that's kind of where the stack up is really going to take place. Aussie next in line to get around the 9 of Slick Nick. Now we're going to see all these cars that stayed out kind of drop back a little bit.
We'll see how long it takes for these guys to catch up to the leaders up ahead. Snowy now trying to run down the 5 of Amar, who's in the best position he's been all afternoon.
Yeah, we've hardly talked about Amar in this 5 car. I mean, you kind of late to the party, missed qualifying, had to start at the back of the pack. And so far, he's kept his nose clean. A very quiet race. And you know what? For Martinsville, that's all you can really ask for sometimes. But things are starting to get a little noisier for him now as Snowy's starting to hound him down. For 4th, I think?
Yes. Yeah, no, this is the battle for 4th. And Amar doing well.
Lines that they're taking too. Snowy with the higher entry, he's arcing the turn. Some guys will go for the diamond approach, where they kind of brake a little late, let it wash up, and then let off the brake and let it roll back down. That works at some tracks. Some guys will just, just take their chances and roll it next to those red and white candy canes as close as they can. That's more the realistic line, but this is NASCAR Heat 5, so.
Yeah, and this is really tight. You got 2 tight battles right now. The 2nd and 3rd. Oh, and now
Snowy's gonna get it.
4th goes to Snowy. Amar just missed it. Missed his line in turn
open.
1. A lot of
Got a
bottom.
little tight, left his door open and didn't want to fight it any further. Once Snowy got next to him, he just let him have it. A little bit of give and take like we see on a lot of road courses.
Oh, and look what's going on behind him. Here comes Zach N6. Oh, Ozzy squirrely out of turn 2. Had to save it. Saved it into the outside wall. Sometimes you need a little help. Oh, squirrely again! Wow! Oh, the 5 came down across his nose, got him real squirrely. Had to back out of the throttle just to save it, and that lost him a ton of time.
Yeah, that car is a handful now, and with the... Ooh, the 9 car had a big send into turn 3, but this 19 car looks like a handful, and it's not helping with the imbalance of those tires, considering he took 2 on the last stop. Oh, Snowy's around!
Oh, no, the 38, yes!
All the way from 4th place, dropping to the back of the line.
Wow.
Running so good. He's having a great run. Charging through the field.
Oh, we still got plenty of laps left. He'll be able to get that back. 30 laps complete. Here through stage 2, 61 total. So 30 more to go.
Caution's
And the
out.
yellow is out. This is exactly what that 38 wanted to see. Is the 10 wants to give a little high five or bro shake over to the 77 out of turn 2. That was cute.
I mentioned before about the split tire strategy. Some of the cars that didn't take tires fell back in the running order. That applies to everyone except for the 34. Now, I don't know if it's because the 34 is doing a really good job on those tires, or if people are just scared to get around him.
I'm going to go with the latter.
Right now, I mean, I don't know if it's because we slowed down under yellow, but I think the 34 is weathering the storm. I think it's starting to settle down, but we'll really keep an eye on him, see if it picks back up again when it goes green. Now our leaders are, well, I thought Hockey looked like he was going to go for a double fake, but couldn't quite get that. Our leaders pit. That's surprising.
Ozzy stays out.
Considering how much of a handful that car is and how it looked, I don't know if that's the call I would have made.
Like we said, track position means everything. He only has to hold on for what, 26 laps?
That's a lot. I don't know if he can hold on for that long.
His tires aren't actually even that worn. 91 on both his left sides, 83 the right front, and 94 right rear.
I think he was pacing pretty well. It's just he got crossed up to 5 a little bit, so we'll see how he does with clean air. This guy, he makes things work. I've questioned him before, and then he'll whip me in a race. So,
We got someone in the chat, Trevor Yates, our good buddy, saying
Hockey.
it is Hockey. He wants the long run. He wants these cautions to quit. And now really wants that long run, so that way he can work his way back up to the race lead, which Ozzy will now lead them to the green flag as the laps slowly but surely continue to wind down.
And they'll be from the inside. The 34 actually won the race off pit road. I think he's on 2 tires. Keep an eye on him. We're back to green.
And I bet you Ozzy is so happy to not be behind that 34 as he blitzes them into turn 1. Absolutely gets the whole shot. And look who's running up through the field, or at least trying to. That's the 10 of Aki Bukaki now behind the 14 of D'Artagnan. Oh, really trying to enter in shallow into turn 3. And Ozzy Rule is already starting to break away from the 4.
14 in the wall.
Yeah, he missed that corner entirely.
Yeah,
Hockey.
him and Jacob got crossed up there. When Hockey all over the 34, wasting no time getting around him. That's for P3.
And now looks for P2. Haven in the 4. Now looking to get passed by the pole sitter for today's event. And now up to second and now third for Jacob as well.
Oh,
the 5 around!
Trouble.
Big crash, the big one. 4 cars involved. And man, the game doesn't even know what to do with that 5 car right now. That should bring out a yellow.
Yeah, indeed it did. That was a heck of a crash.
And the big one strikes at Martinsville. That was a 4 to 5 car crash right there.
Yeah, the 5, the 9 of Slick Nick, the 45 of Daytona. I think D'Artagnan might have got glazed up in that a little bit.
I think Daytona's
And
been a part.
The 5 and the 9 kind of lagged mid-slide, which was interesting to see. That probably took out a couple of other cars in that.
And Daytona's just trying to figure out all the nooks and crannies of Martinsville. He's found the inside wall, he's spun, he got ran into. This has not been the day for that 45, but we're looking to go back green now. And the 19 going to lead him to it, but this time, though, he's got the 10, a Hockey Bukkake to his outside. How does this go? And Hockey Bukkake into the outside wall. Ozzy Rules will clear for the race lead, and now battle for second is on. Contact with the 77. And the 10 wins that fight. The 77 loses big time. Now defending his position against the 34, Reinov. He wins that fight. Now the hunt is on for the 10, while the 10 hunts down the race leader. Closing that gap ever so surely. Oh, really good 1 and 2 by the 10. Right on the bumper. He's actually going to look to the outside. He's got the room. He says, why not? Gets nothing out of it. He'll have to probably resort to a little bump and run in order to get by this 19.
Remember, the first one's a warning shot. But if you ignore the warning shot, you're going to get 2 more.
Oh, he might just get the 1.
He's got a nose, but Aussie drives it in a little too deep as he washes up.
Side by side.
And Hockey's just able to hold the bottom lane better than anybody else tonight.
Oh, and here comes the 77.
And it's Jacob as well. Those two, we haven't really seen many missteps out of them. They are completely locked in these closing laps in this stage. But I don't know. I think Aussie's just trying to hang on. I mean, hang on, not that.
Oh, boy.
That's what I was worried about.
Squarely out of 4. Oh, he caught the candy canes. Just got the 2 left side tires on it. You saw the car get off the ground. As soon as it came back on the pavement, he was already sideways. And there will be no yellow by the looks of it.
Oh, the 45's around again. Right in front of the pack.
Oh, 20 involved.
Oh. 45's wedged on the fence. The 20 car goes for a wild ride. That was another big wreck at Martinsville, and hopefully no one ever takes Daytona to Disneyland, because I don't think he's a fan of roller coasters, because he is on a never-ending one tonight. My God.
Jesus. That was a good analogy. I like that.
I think both him and the 20 car need some barf bags.
Oh, man. This track is actually fun on iRacing, but in this game it's just awful.
here we go, getting ready to go back to it. Green flag is back out. Great start by both the 10 and the 77. Jacob going to cook it into turn 1.
Zach and 6 got muscled out of the way pretty quickly. The top 3 stayed on track, so the first car, assuming to be on tires, is the 9. Leesy's the first one out that pitted under the yellow. And now we got a roadblock for second.
Saw a little bit of lag out of the 24 on the restart. Shot 48 up.
Battle for third, Amar. Gonna muscle his way past D'Artagnan, sends him up the hills. He's gonna make the pass. And Slick Nick of the 9 car tried to go for 2 for 1, but Amar shuts the door on him, washes up the track. The 9 gets around the 14, the 14 stuck on the conveyor belt on the outside. As the 14 that restarted third, he's been trying to make those no tire calls work, and unfortunately for him, he's been finding himself falling back every single time. But trying to do stuff different.
And Slick
Please make
Nick.
something happen. Ooh! 5 and the 9 make contact.
A little bit. Slick Nick trying to get to P3. Capitalize on what he got on pit road, whether it was 2 or 4.
Reinov had another lag. Right in front of the 19.
Oh, I just realized how far back I am in the stream. I was like 15 seconds or what behind. Is right now the closing laps. We're down to about 4 to go. Now 3.
It's a race for third now.
All right, now looking at the race for the stage win. The 77 all over the back of Aki Bukaki. They come to 2 laps to go. From the top down, just see the different ways these 2 drivers attack these corners as Aki Bukaki trying to hold on.
9's looking under the 5 here for third.
White
And
flag.
pushing heaven, gonna push his way through for a P5. He's inside a 3 wide. Aussie rules in the middle. Reinov stuck outside. All 3 of them send it into turn 1. The 5 and the 9 are still door to door. More contact being made. That's not a surprise. We're at Martinsville for crying out loud. Oh, and the 19's on the curb. He's around.
I was watching the battle for the stage when it was side by side at the line between the 10 and the 77. Aki Bukaki gets the stage win. The 19, as you heard, an unfortunate way to finish the stage 13th. After
all the
being
potential stage points he could have got wiped away in a heartbeat.
And this is the day he needed to have a good one. Jet Blast, start and park, and this was a chance to really close down on the points. But right now he's only losing ground, and the one's not even here.
It looked like Austin was really going for it there, and it looked like he kind of got pushed down by the 9. Just going for it there.
Aki Bukaki, your stage 1 winner. Then Jacob, Amar, Reinov, Slicknick, Pushin' Heaven, T-Dog, D'Artagnan, Zach, and 6. CCR, your top 10. Here we go with Reinov. Gonna kick off stage, or at least the final stage. Green flag back out at Martinsville. And oh boy, do we have a long stretch. 118 laps to finish this one off.
Yeah, this is a risky call for those top 2. Reinov and Aussie Rules, who was frustrated at losing all of those potential stage points, stays out under the break and saying, screw it, I'm just going to lead this race myself if I can't have anything go my way. Jacob in the middle, thread the needle at Martinsville. Not going to back down, forces the 34 to ease off for the time being, but backs the 10 up with that lag hit. Who's now on the outside of Amar for 4th.
Man, what a move by Jacob. I really thought he was going to split the difference on that one, but the 19 able to get by Reinov, understanding, backing down and going to the back end of the field as to not get in the way of A, faster drivers, and B, the finish of this race. Hate to see it for the 34. and it's nothing he can control, but it's something that's got to happen. And now this 77 to Jacob on the fresh stuff is now running down your race leader in the 19.
It's probably the first time all night, realistically, that Jacob has had an advantage over the 10 of Hockey, as he's now ahead of him on track, and again, assumingly on the same strategy. So now, once the time comes to running the 19 down and getting around him, he's going to have the advantage with track position, because that's really what he needs, because he's, as we saw, the closest to Hockey on pace, and being at work on that car trying to make it better. Now that he has the advantage of being ahead of him on the track, that could probably make him go a little bit quicker.
Because right now the gap between the cars in first, third, and even fourth are pretty equidistant right now, but 5 of Amar has a mirror full of T-Dog in the 24, who's finally gotten that 24 car up into the top 5.
And that dog's hunting.
All over the back. This is really the only close... Oh, I was going to say the only close fight. The 45 inside of the 4. A little farther back in the field.
T-Dog's peeking through the window. He's going to hop on through. Not like that. He hopped the curve. That's not going to help him. Chops the nose of the 9. That's good news for the 5 of Amar, who was for a brief moment under threat from losing that spot from the 24. But T-Dog going to have to try to regroup and run the 5 car back down. The 5 car looks like he's kind of struggling with the tight handling of his car. He was overshooting the entry of 1 and 2 a little bit. 24 looks a little more dialed in at the moment. He peeked again, tried to fake him out. And it's a hornet's nest right in his mirror, starting with the 9. There you go, he opens the door again, gets pried open. Ooh, that dog's going to go on through. Ossi's going to pull over. Don't know if he got loose or just let him go.
He did.
And move Jacob to the point. No, don't do that.
Oh, he got loose and he chased it down the whole front straightaway. He was zigzagging.
Here comes Hockey.
How friendly will this 10 be to the race leader? Hockey Bukaki knows he's got the better long run car. Anticipating now that everybody's pretty spread out that we'll be able to get that long run he was hoping for. You capitalize on it, you got it. Oh, and there it was. Damn it, I just said that we looked like we were going to have a long green flag run, didn't I?
Ha, psych.
But that works out for the 19. This is an in-game yellow. So everybody will be pitting this time.
Yeah, he's taking right. Has he changed left side tires like at all in this race? 19's going with rights again. So watch him to leapfrog the 77, who's taking 4. We'll see what everyone else does. Pushing Heaven now up to row 2. Hockey didn't pit at all. He actually stayed out to protect the lead.
And we are back underway with Hockey Bukaki and Aussie Rules. Your front row.
Takes the lead.
And that is not what the rest of the field wanted to see. Or at least that 77, he's still got cars to get by. He was hoping the 19 would hold out on the race lead or hold on to the race lead for a little longer, so that way he'd be able to catch up to the 10 of Bukaki. But Jacob now putting the 19 under siege, trying to get by him for position. And Hockey Bukaki is loving this. You two keep fighting each other. I'ma be over here running away. And
He's got it to win here.
Yeah, yes, that has been Hockey Bukaki's kryptonite. The final 20 laps.
He's due for a win, like I said earlier. He's very much so due for a win. He's a very good driver, very fast.
And Jacob finally gets through with the 19, clearing him from the outside, but if this thing finally goes green to the end, which place your bets now in the chat if that's actually going to happen for once.
Huh. No, I'm
Could be
predicting
too
a
little,
higher
too late
lower
because
of
that-
how many cautions are left.
That 10 car could be gone. But again, if the trends continue, we could see another yellow, and that could put the 77 right back to the 10. That's what the 10's not hoping for, and we just might get it. The 4 car's around out of turn 4. Ooh, the 45 and the 9. Yep, there it is. The 14 D'Artagnan. Daytona flips again.
There.
And Slick Nick in the 9.
Yep, and that did bring out the leaders are slow on the front stretch. There's so much happening on the track. My house is a little bit on the cold side, so I was grabbing a shawl to like keep myself a little warm. Then all hell broke loose, so I just had it on the race leader because I couldn't fucking scroll fast enough. Like I said, we're just betting higher or lower. Put your bets in the comments on whether it's going to be... We're going to put it at about 3. 3 cautions, 3 more cautions.
Not many laps on this green flag run, so not many people are going to pit. Aussie Rules took 4, it looks like. I think a lot of them actually hit pit at like the very last second, so... Zach N6 now is going to take the point over and lead him to green.
Yeah, and you know that 77 really
Jacob
wants
outside
to capitalize and get ahead of the 10. He does. Hockey Bukaki, bad turn 2 exit, loses a ton of time to the top 2, and he'll fall back a little bit. Oh no, Jacob into the wall. That's going to allow the 10 right back in. Oh, Hockey almost clear the 77. If you're Jacob, you gotta be fuming a little bit on the inside just because you were that close to getting back ahead of the 10 and putting yourself in a really good
still
spot.
Might, though, the 10 car, he's still got to get around the 48. He was able to clear him by that time, but this battle for the lead with Zach N6. Hockey the first one to try to get by him on the inside.
And he will do that. And there goes Jacob diving into the bottom. Inside of the 48 he goes. 10 into the outside wall.
Couldn't let the 10 car get further away than what he did earlier. The 10 car was able to get around the 48 without breaking a sweat. The 77 had to put a little bit more elbow grease into getting around Zach, but Zach knows he was the only car under that last caution that didn't pit. So he's just trying to hang on to as much track position as he can. So far that car's handling pretty well up there. Still in the top 3. He's actually closed back in because the top 2 are starting to get in a battle of their own. Here comes Jacob peeking the nose down low.
And he's been doing that for a couple of laps. We saw him through, I think, a section of, I think it was turn 1 and 2. Just be able to keep his nose under there. Hockey Bukaki leaving a lot of bottom open through a couple of sections. One time the 77 was just able to get his nose in there. If the 10 tried to cut him off, he would have spun that 10 right around. Now these drivers with 66, or at least some of them now. Oh, contact with the 10 and the 77.
He didn't like that. Here he is. Elbows out.
This is Martinsville, baby. Oh, Bukaki really slips up in the 77 to Jacob for the first time tonight. Able to get by the 10. But here we go. In his excitement, misses turn 3 just a little bit and overdrove the corner. That allowed the 10 to sneak to his inside. We got another caution.
And I didn't see what it was for. I think it might be the 20 car. CCR's got a ton of rear end damage now that I didn't see on his car previously, so he might have been involved. And considering he's the last one to catch up to the pack, I think that's probably what the caution is. So we'll just assume the 20 car spun around and hit something at some point. You can fact check us later. Or you don't, you can just take our word for it.
Yeah.
I like that part.
I like that part too.
It's like the 24 and the 38 were showing a little bit of brotherly love under pacing. That was pretty funny.
So hey, you got something on your quarter panel, let me go get that for you. Oh,
Huh.
thanks. 34 staying on track.
All right.
And he is. A man on a lonely island, as he's the only car to stay on the track.
Yeah.
Everyone else coming down pit road. Now we actually get to see the strategies take place, because with the automatic yellows, you couldn't tell who was picking 2 or 4 tires, unless you just saw who gained like 6 or 7 spots.
Yeah, the 19
Again.
doing 2 again.
2 for him. 4 for the 77, that's not changed. Aussie going to be the first one out. 77 of Jacob getting ahead of Hockey, staying ahead of him. Zach N6, that caution worked out pretty well for him because he stayed under the previous yellow. He still has that track position. So that allows him to take 4 tires and stay within the fastest 2 cars on track.
Just gonna get front row. 77's gonna get front row here.
The outside, it worked well for Hockey. Now Jacob's going to give it a try.
Yeah, 80 laps to go is what we'll restart with.
He's got to get around Reinov, though. Reinov's going to be the control car because he stayed out. So he's the leader. And right now, still everybody... Nobody's gotten tired and parked it yet. Everyone's still on track. Really, our only retirement has been our start and park Jet Blast and the 1. But everyone else, still alive.
Not by much, but they're kicking.
Even Daytona, he's flipped like 3 times.
That's also true, but here we go. Reinov, green flag back out. Reinov leads him to it.
Now he's got Aussie to deal with. Amar in the 5, gonna push on through. Hockey stuck on the outside of them both. With a good start for the 34, and Aussie Rules helped contribute to that with a really good push.
Reinov in the best position he's been all night. Hopefully he can stay that way. We'll have to wait and see how his situation is. Right now it is Aussie Rules completely under fire by the 10 of Bukaki. The 77 really mired, or right just ahead of him. I swear to God, I keep getting him and the Snowy mixed up.
Well, the 10 and the 19 got a little physical. He had to slide up in front of the 19 to clear the spot, so that's going to put him back up to third. He didn't want to waste any more time than he already did.
Yeah, especially with a car that you know has similar speed to you.
Here he comes, inside of Jacob, little bit wheel contact.
I think that was a little more than a little. That was the entire side panel.
And Jacob had to lift because he got really tight out of exit. Hockey back ahead of him once again, but the battle's not over because both of these guys got to deal with what I feel like is the Ryan Newman of this race so far. Because everyone has been trembling at their tippy toes to try to get around this 34 car.
Just a tad. And that is exactly what the 77 is hoping for, is that maybe that 34 can be a little bit of a helping hand to his cause. Everybody else pretty well spread out.
Negotiations begin.
Yeah, everybody else is pretty well spread out. These top four are literally under a blanket right now, so...
Curb. Didn't hit the curb, didn't it? It affected the 77. Stack up there.
Yeah, he did.
Oh!
Ooh, Hockey tank slaps the wall.
Heavy contact. The 77.
Reels Jacob back in.
Now, not only is he
Fill that
there.
void on the inside.
Yeah, he's on the inside trying to take away that spot. Little bit of an aggressive shove to the 10. Bukaki trying his damnedest, can't hold it. Move Jacob back up to P2 and now hunting down the 34 Rhino, but we already know the 77 is pretty good with that front bumper.
He's gonna have to use it to get by the 34. Maybe not.
And if he doesn't, the 10's going to make sure he does. Oh!
It's close. Oh, the 10. Jesus.
Hockey's had enough.
He's like, hey, buddy, you want to use that bumper? Well, let me use mine. Jacob's like, can we get by the 34 first? That 34 came back down on the 77.
Like, oh, we'll get around the 34, trust.
Yeah, 34, man, he's really hard to pass, like you said. But lag doesn't help.
He needs to get it by him now because now the 77's got a breath of fresh air.
Side by side for that position is Hockey and Rhino.
This is not going to help his cause.
No, this is just going to make life a lot harder for that 10. 68 laps to go. I missed the call for the perfect lap count. Oh, by one. Ozzy Rules gets by. He's through to third. At 19, just trying to close this one out. What'd you say, John?
The 34 probably kicked his tires from running outside.
True.
Yeah, and he's already at a tire disadvantage from not pitting. But he did the best he could with what little he had. So he's still hanging in there pretty good. He's still in fourth. Still curious though, because this is probably, knock on wood, we're probably going to have our longest green flag run of the night. These
Why
guys
did you say that?
cannot make it on fuel. These guys cannot make it on fuel if it stays green.
I'm going to say it again.
We still might get another yellow, but if we don't...
No,
we
you
might see them
already
pit
said
one more
it. You can't just walk it back, dog.
I didn't walk it back. I'm painting a picture. I'm saying we might, but I'm saying there's also a chance that we don't. And if we don't, it's interesting because these guys still have to pit again.
True, and it's getting physical for the lead. Bukaki trying to use the bumper. Jacob says, no, sir, that's my job. And he does. He uses that back bumper to hold Bukaki to second. Another shot by the 10.
This has caused the 19 to get a little bit closer with the 34.
And that's the 34 saving grace. His tires might be falling off at a faster rate, but if those three keep battling, that's going to keep him in the fight. Also, the lap car of Slick Nick. Oh, they caught him way quicker than I thought they would. He's not granting him any space. Time's running out for Slick Nick to stay on the lead lap, but all for naught for him. He's going to have no choice but to give way.
Yeah, now the 10 was able to get through there as well. Oh, a little bit of contact between Slick Nick and Ozzy. No, never mind. That wasn't contact. Ozzy just got super loose out of 4.
Ozzy's been fighting that loose condition out of 4 pretty much the whole race, and I was about to jinx him and say that his car was looking a lot better this run. And just that one slip up, and another one. He hits the wall that time.
And still, nose to tail, Reinov trying to get back underneath the 19 for position number 3. Can't make it stick. There's now yet another lap car. Will impede
Daytona
our leaders.
45. That's a bad spot for the 10. But it makes it work.
Hockey Bukaki still trying to run down Jacob, but in behind them is that 45 of Daytona that is a couple laps down.
Ooh, I'm watching a battle further back. The 4 pushing Heaven and the 24 T-Dog. That battle has been going on for a little while, and I think it's reaching a boiling point now. Pushing Heaven's patience is running paper thin. He nearly put the 24 into the wall. T-Dog not giving up yet. D'Artagnan in the 14 got a front row seat to this entire thing. If the caution's going to come out, it's probably going to be right within that radius. Meanwhile, Aussie Rules and Reinov both getting around the 45 are door to door again. Aussie on the inside. Bass Pro Toyota and the 34 Reinov hard on the gas to try to keep that outside lane open. He's got to keep that 19 pinched down to his advantage, and also the fact that the 19s lose right in front of Daytona. That's going to slot Reinov back to the podium places in 3rd.
Yeah, and that 45 was probably seeing red a little bit too. Yet another car that gets squirrely in his general vicinity.
Well, the top 2 are installing magnets to their bumpers because they have not been able to separate each other.
Man, these two just will not leave each other alone as we continue to wind the laps down. 53 now laps to go.
This is probably just from my experience racing this track, which, to be fair, isn't a whole lot, but I always felt like the car would drive better in the long run. And when I say better, I was more acclimated to it because it took me about the whole run to finally get into a rhythm. And if these guys are anything like that, because they've had enough repetitive laps to get comfortable with their cars and the temperatures that their tires are building up, the 77-10. That 10's been really cutting it close with that bumper. The battle's really going to get intense because they have on the forecast not 1, not 2, but 3 potential lap cars on the horizon, starting with the 14 of D'Artagnan. Oh, the 70 set, they both slide out of 4.
Man, what a save by both of
Yellow's
those two.
out.
Yellow is out. That's an in-game yellow.
And we missed it again. Good job, us.
Yay, we're good at this.
See, I told you guys would caution would come out. Now these guys can definitely make it on fuel.
Yep, indeed. It's a shame the caution came out when it did. I was really interested to see how they were going to get
Right?
the 14-4 and the 24.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to see the fuel battle. Oh,
Ooh.
The 4.
there's the 4.
Interesting there.
This will be an interesting restart. Green flag back underway as Pushing Heaven will lead them through to turn 1, and both drivers on the front row.
Pushing Heaven's about to get pushed out of the way at this rate. Holy cow, these guys are in a hurry.
7 clears. 4.
Oh, 3 wide for 3rd. Bukaki breaks free. Now to the outside of Heaven for P2.
Breaking through Heaven's gate.
Oh, Pushing Heaven had to do something off strategy. However, he has now just turned himself into one ginormous roadblock. Oh, into the outside wide goes to the 4. 20 follows through.
10 under the 77 for the lead. And he'll complete the pass.
Oh, but he'll get super squirrely out of turn 2 doing it. Still side by side. It was the 77 that leads that lap.
And Hockey's going to have the upper hand in the lower lane. He's going to get by here. The 77 just needs to stay on the defense, keep pinching him down. And using that outside lane to build momentum and stay even with him. He's doing a really good job at that, but here comes the 34, Reinov, who's now back on equal footing with those tires. Reinov, with the lag storm, they finally got that sorted out in the pits. His car is looking a lot more stable. Now we finally get to see what this 34 car has to offer in the closing laps.
Yeah, the 77 is not done. Bukaki misses the bottom. That allows the 77 through. Jacob. Oh, the 10 tried to get back through, or tried to cross him up. The 3 and 4 couldn't make it stick. Jacob now officially your race leader. As we've now crossed the 200 lap mark, 41 laps to go. 210 or 9 laps completed, 250 on the tap for today.
Oh, Amar sideways out of turn 4. That was almost a disaster with him in the 48, but he straightens it out right on time to make it into the next turn. It's going to be a tough loss for Amar. He's going to lose about 1 or 2 spots, but it's a lucky break for the rest of the field. Hockey is hounding. Oh, Daytona got physical with the 14. He is on the other side of the curb. Actually try to keep it down there to keep it from spinning. Another close call for the rest of the field. The 45 does a really good job straightening the car out. And looking through the rest of the field, we haven't talked much about Snowy in this final stage. He was running within the top 5 early on. Had some issues late. He hasn't been able to come back. That 38 just seems to be really struggling at this point in the race. It's a tough break for him. Hey, don't be yawning. We still got about how many more laps left?
36, I believe.
We have 36, yes, laps left. 77 is starting to break away from the number 10. And these two have been the highlight of today's race.
We nearly got shipped.
And this is the cool thing about this track is that... Oh, the 9 up high! Oh, I didn't notice that.
Nose first into the wall.
Ooh, that was crazy. But these two, no matter what's going on, have
Oh, we got another one facing the wrong way at a 180. That's Amar. He had a close call at about 5 laps ago. That time, not so lucky.
And the 9 down pit road.
And Nick's in the barrels. He's in the barrels. A mouthful of barrels. That was about 3 incidents in 1 lap between 2 cars. Will that be a yellow? Oh my God, the 14 and 45 make contact. We're playing ping pong at ping pong. Let me try that again.
Sing
We're
song.
playing ping pong at Martinsville.
Ooh, the 20 went way
Who's the
wide.
ball? Who's the paddle?
The 34 is keeping pace with the 10 and 77. That's pretty impressive. He's right there with it.
Yeah, he'd be like that. If it wasn't for that lag thing, he'd been up here all race. That 34 brought the right setup. It's really working for him, but unfortunately, that is the only thing working for him right now, as he has just had such problems with the servers.
And luckily for him, I got a look back on it, but I think he made some strategy calls which still got him some stage points. So it's not entirely the end of the world. So even during the downtime that he was dealing with, he was still able to mix it up with the guys in the top 5, even if everyone else around him wasn't really happy about it. But that 34 have been running strong all night long, and now we got the 9 car, who actually was on pit road earlier. I can't remember, was it him or I think it was the 4 that stayed out. Someone stayed on the last yellow. They're not going to make it on fuel.
It was the 44. It was the 4.
Yeah, the 4 got 3 wide with the 20. And I think the 24 T-Dog. Meanwhile, back up at the front, lap traffic, get out of the way. Oh, Jacob and Hockey collide!
Oh, trouble with the front. Hockey still can't get it gathered.
That's going to be yellow. Big time. My voice cracked. I wasn't so ready for that. So that Jacob's car got on the curbing, lost so much control of his car, overcorrected it right where Hockey was on the outside, and basically slipped and slid back up into him into the outside wall.
Now that is a manual yellow with 26 laps to go when they cross the line to take that yellow.
The 77 has to have damage here, right? No, he's giving him the lead. It was 34 to the point here.
Could this be a I brought out the caution so I dropped to the back kind of thing?
If I know Jacob, he probably felt bad about it and decided to move to the back.
Yeah, I mean, that was the tough deal. I mean, obviously he didn't intend to do that. He just bit off a little more than he could chew, just trying to get around the lap cars while in the heat of battle with the 10 car, because they had been at each other's throats all night long, and just got his left sides just a little bit on the curbing, and that upset the balance of his car so bad. And we documented just how much of a slick spot that turn 4 exit is, and it's bit a lot of people tonight, and unfortunately it's bit 2 of our fastest cars of the night.
Yeah, now we
everybody except one. I mean, it seems like every single caution recently has brought in everybody except for 1 car down pit road. Right now that 1 car is the 9, but again, I think that 9 car again is going to take a wave around, or he's the lucky dog because he pitted under green when he hit the barrels earlier.
Now to follow up, the 77 was technically involved in the caution, so the caution cars moved to the end of the line, so that's why he had to move out. He probably still felt bad about it too.
And the race off pit road. That Aussie again? Is that another 2-tire call? Yes, it is.
We're just getting word that the 9 is 4 laps down.
Yeah, it's costly to pit under green here. So 2 tires stopped, had to fix a little bit of damage, but still got out with the lead ahead of the 4. And the 4 car needed this, assuming he wasn't going to make it on fuel staying out earlier. He can make it now. Now that he's got that car filled up, and he probably took right sides as well, now that he is up here. Gonna give this strategy another go. And Reinov, who inherited the lead, looks like he's gonna restart, possibly. 2nd car on the outside if he intends to restart there. Maybe he goes low. He's going to go low. So that's going to move the 48 up into 4th place. Next to D'Artagnan, the 14.
Ozzy rules. In the 4, pushing heaven. Running 1-2. We go down the back straightaway. 229 laps will have been completed when they take the green flag. Means we will restart with 20 to go.
Keeping on at 34. He's really fast.
And here we go. Green flag is back out. Aussie Rules, who also has had a roller coaster of a day. All the 4 into the grass on the apron. Forms a roadblock. 45 into the wall. 77 in the 10. Stuck up on the high side. Aussie Rules bringing away 34 right off a round. No yellow said yet. Meanwhile, the 77 of Jacob breaking farther away than the 10 of Bukaki. Both drivers trying to pass the back of the field on the outside. They do. And now T-Dog, the next on the list for the 77 of Jacob. Meanwhile, oh, caution out.
That really sucks for the 34. I thought he was in probably the best spot.
That sucks for the 19 of Aussie. He was breaking away after that restart. He did not need that yellow.
Slicknick gets another one of his laps back.
I'm telling you, Aussie was breaking away through all that. Now he sees that that little blue hood. Only 4 cars behind him now when it was about 6. The buffer is starting to break.
Yeah, 10's right there with the 77 though.
Oh, the 4 faking out. Oh, Hockey Bukaki faked me out. Damn.
It's really close. It's too close.
I don't know why you fake out if you're that far back. I mean, who are you making pit?
Maybe you're just indecisive, because that's what I usually do. Like, people think I'm faking them out. I'm not. I just genuinely don't know if I'm going to pit or not. I'm gauging my decision based on what everyone else is going to do.
And now we had about 17 to go. And these things, when these cars got all slowed down, crossing the line, it'll be 16 laps remaining at Martinsville. The 19 will lead him to it. Nobody came down pit road. And by the looks of things, we will restart with 15 laps left at Martinsville.
This final stretch is going to be a slog.
And I already know what camera I'm looking through.
Worn out, most likely mentally worn out, or just ready to get this thing over with.
Huh. But here we go. Green flag back out. Aussie Rule is trying to take a commanding lead through turn 1. Everybody hit the rumble strips on the inside. But Zach N6 actually does well to hold that spot. 77 in the 10 to the inside of the 4. The 19 under heavy pressure from the 48. Everybody does well to mind their P's and Q's this time. 14 laps to go. And now here goes Jacob peeking to the inside of the 48. Now the 48 playing defense, allowing Aussie to break away.
Good Lord.
Open door. Here comes Hockey.
Jacob playing too nice for P2. And now quick to the inside of the 48 goes the 10. The 77 on his bumper to make sure he can get through right behind him, and he does. Now the 19 of Aussie Rules in their sights. Oh, and Jacob real bad at a 2. Loses a ton of time to Bukaki. Now the pressure up for the 10. All the pressure on the 19. And he severely missed 3 and 4. The 10 to the inside. Drives the 19 up.
Lick a stamp and send it right here.
Oh, 3-1
back.
with a 77. Can't make it stick hard into the back of the 19. And they cross the line. 10 to go.
Just when we thought these two were down and out.
Oh, the 19 returning the favor.
Second.
Yeah, that was definitely returning the favor right there. And that was a good return, too. The 19 showing his displeasure with the 77, given how that whole battle for second went on. And now Hockey Bukkake just has to hold on for another handful of laps. About 8 of them to be exact. 7.5 to be real pinpoint.
The patience tank is already empty at this point in the race. If there was any left, it's completely out now. But Jacob in this 77, he's got to run the laps of his life to run the 10 car back down. That's not gonna help it.
Meanwhile, you got the 19 just trying to hold on to third. Zach in 6, a little ways away, but one wrong move by the 19, and that 48 will be right there with him. 6.
Really good run by the 48. Really good run.
6 laps to go, coming to 5. This time as the 10 crosses the line. Count the laps on one hand. 5 to go. The flag man holds his hand out.
Now to count to 5, let's go back to 5. Reinov is on a comeback trail here, putting him back up into the top 5 on this final restart. So 1-5 to another. Good run for the 34. That almost looked like it was dashed away. He was able to come back from it.
And this
That's
77.
a wide line for Jacob.
Yeah, not able to really gain on this 10 car. He is pushing that 77 to damn near its wit's end.
He still looked like he gained on him a little bit.
Did a little bit there at the 3 and 4, but time running out. 3 to go here at Martinsville. This one about to be wrapped up here in a pretty little bow. The 10 just has to hang on. And you know inside that car as we come to 2 laps to go, every muscle appendage is crossed as tight as it can, that he can that the next flag he sees is white. 2 corners. He has to make it through. Out of turn 4, the flagman has it in his hands, crosses the line. 1 to go, next flag, ends it for the 10. There's the first sigh of relief. Now he himself has to make it back around, down the back straightaway. For the last time into turns 3 and 4. Hockey Bukkake has been up and down and all around, but now he will cross the line, and Hockey Bukkake wins at Martinsville. Jacob finishing second. Ozzy Rules in third, rounding out your podium. Then it's Zach in 6th, 4th, Reinov 5th, T-Dog 6th, Snowy 7th, Amar 8th, CCR 9th, and D'Artagnan rounding out the top 10.
Really good run by the team. Yeah, he's got the best car all day. Well-deserved win for the team.
And a much-needed win, too. It always seems like every race that 10 car fires off out of the hauler with supersonic speed, but it always seems like there's some sort of setback. And I was worried with that disastrous contact with Jacob. I thought that was going to be another verse in the same song, but he was able to write a new song and come back to victory. And again, I thought these two were out, man. They both came back to finish first and second, which I think is well-deserved.
And let's not...
It would have been unfortunate if they didn't make it back.
And let's not forget about who did not race tonight. Not only did John Waterforce not race, but NAS Carrillo did not participate either. Guess who are just above our
And
race winner in points and not by a whole lot either. So this
our
was a
starting park.
huge points day for that 10.
in the starting park for Jet Blast, taking last place points and not getting any stage points, Hockey Bukaki got the fastest lap, a 19.518.
Yes, but I mean the one has about 100-point lead on, actually well over that. It's about like 105, yeah, 105-point lead over that 16, or over the 10. Sorry. Did anybody else invite the top 3?
I got it.
Okay, I was gonna say I didn't know if anybody else did or if I had to. I didn't know.
I got the Aussie interview.
I was like me and Timmy earlier. Like, are you gonna make the booth chat or am I making the booth chat? Well, you left, so I thought you were doing it. There is, huh?
I said I got the Aussie interview.
The who?
If you don't mind. Aussie rules.
Oh, Aussie rules. Yeah. Okay. So John will do Aussie, Timmy will do Jacob, and I'll take winner. Perfect.
All right.
I like that.
Yeah, that'll work.
All right. Well,
Aussie
give me
rules,
1
you want a
second.
copy?
Yes, sir.
Let me give Walbridge a second.
All right. You're clear. You're good.
All right. So, Aussie, that was a good run, my friend. Walk me through your race.
Oh, it was all over the place. Had a good start. You know, obviously starting on outside pole was not ideal, but yeah, I mean we kind of found ourselves at the front there for the first run and got into a little bit of drama. So you know, had to rebound a little bit, but feel like we kind of leveled it back out throughout the race, and you know, trying to be patient. But at Martinsville, you know how it goes. It's yeah, that's not easy. So a little bit of beating and banging, and that was some intense racing at times. But I feel like the top 3 or the third place finish was kind of where we deserved to be at the end. Had some pretty stellar front runners there in Jacob and Hockey, and they were obviously very hard to beat. So I was pushing a little bit harder than I probably should have been, and caught myself off guard a few times. But it was good running for Ryan with Rhino for a little bit there. He had some speed as well. So all in all, a pretty decent race.
Yeah. There's one thing I'm really curious about, and I know Timmy and Walbridge had to be curious about it too. Was your strategy calls throughout really the first part of the race, first half of the race. You took 2 tires a lot. Can you walk me through why you were making that decision to go with 2 tires?
Yeah, that's I don't know. I feel like maybe it was the wrong call a lot of times, but no, I feel like track position at Martinsville is very hard to pass there, and honestly, you know, kind of worn tires seem to work a little bit better than fresh tires. So I think timing when you're going to have worn tires was going to be important. You know, having pretty fresh tires, but slightly worn or scrub tires, I guess, at the end of the race was, I think, going to be, you know, kind of prime. And I feel like we were actually pretty close to being there, but, you know, obviously driving skill takes a big part of the racing as well. So Hockey and Jacob had that figured out.
Okay, last question for you. That restart with 14 or 15 to go. What was kind of going through your head? Because I know you had some cars in between you and the 77 and the 10. Kind of what was going through your head? Because I know that I made a comment on the broadcast. You know, you didn't want to see the 10 get clear of the 48 so quick. But do you think there's anything else you could have done really that sprint?
No, that's yeah. you're on par there with that whole strategy. I mean, I thought I was in a pretty good spot. There was a few. You're right. There was a few cars between me and Hockey and Jacob. They made a lot of ground up in that first little, that short caution, I guess. But yeah, when I saw him get around him, and I could see that I had I don't know, just over a second lead, I started pushing a lot harder than I should have, and once he was there in a heartbeat, so there was no point in really fighting him. I was trying to salvage something out of the race, so I probably raced Jacob a little bit harder than I should have, but yeah, no, it was. I thought I was in a pretty good spot at the end there, but they're just too good. That's their tracks, or that's their track, I should say.
Oh man, that was a great run. You're a great driver. Nice run for third. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, Waterforce. Good to talk to you. Sorry you weren't out there. I feel like you could have given these guys a run for their money.
Not after the day I had, no.
All right. Well, thanks.
And I believe now we're ready to talk to our second place finisher, Jacob. You got a copy?
Yep, I got you.
Alright, well, second place, got the comeback after both you and Hockey tangled in the closing laps and had to start at the back, closer to the end there. I was kind of worried that at that point it looked like it was going to be a tough hill to climb, because you were the only one, it seemed like, who had anything for the 10 car all night long as far as just outright pace, and at some points you were actually able to get ahead of them. So just walk me through how you and that 10 car have been at each other's throats basically all night, seeing who was faster than the other, and what was going on after you two tangled, and did you think you were going to be able to come back from that?
I mean, me and the 10, it was a tough hill even for me to climb because we were so basically dead even. It was just hard racing out there, and when I got loose and then unfortunately ended up crashing both of us into the wall, and we had to start in the back. I mean, I felt like both of us had a shot with like 20 something laps to go to maybe, without a caution, or anything weird happen. And I felt like we could have easily got back up to like second or third. I felt like at that point Aussie might have ran away with the race if we hadn't been able to come back from that. So.
Yeah, I mean, able to come back from that. And generally, how would you assess, just how your race went given the circumstances and whatnot?
Well, considering I felt like we were the second best car all night, I'd say it went pretty good. I mean, stage one, we ended up making a choice to pit on that late caution in stage one, and it ended up costing me second that stage. I probably should have just stayed out with the rest of the field, and at that point, I just didn't know what my car had on old tires, and I didn't think old tires would be that good there. But yeah, my car was not happy most of the night. It felt really weird. There'd be times where I would go into the corner and it would get right to the bottom like I wanted it to, and then other times it would be like I'd have to wait till 3/4 of the way through the corner just to get on the gas. I'm not really sure what was going on with the car there, but all in all, it was a good day. I mean, getting second pretty much in stage two and stage three, and would have, had I not have made a dumb strategy call on stage one, would have either won the stage or got second in the stage. I'd say I had a pretty good day.
And it seems to be the case. Before we let you go, any other things you want to say, or any shout-outs you want to give out, or anything like that?
I do want to just apologize for almost killing mine in Hockey's race. I'm glad he didn't take it personally, because I definitely didn't try to do anything to us. It just got loose. I tried to save it, and then it just ended up wrecking us into the wall. I'm glad we were both able to recover, and that we were able to both have a chance to win it. So.
Yeah, well, hey, there you got it, man. Congratulations on a strong run tonight. That's your second place finisher.
All right, thank you.
And now that will get us ready to go here for the man who won the event today. If I can find his bloody card number, there it is. That is the number 10 of Hockey Bukkake.
What up?
What's up, buddy? Well, this is the first time I think I've gotten to talk to you this season in the winner's circle. I mean, you were one of the ones that were having an up and down day. I mean, you would get the lead at one point, a caution would come out, and you had to work your way back through the field multiple times. I mean, what is that feeling like, knowing that you've worked so hard to get the lead back, and now you're back in the pack again, having to do the same thing?
I honestly didn't think I could get through the pack that fast every single time. And then once I got to the front of clean air, it was just pretty smooth.
Yeah, and I know that you had the best car. I know we talked last week after the All-Star race that you were pretty confident going into this race that you had a car that could contend for the win. Did you know that this car was going to be this good walking in?
No, I actually didn't. I thought I was going to finish like mid-pack. I suck at Martinsville. I thought in the old gen car I do, but not the next gen.
Ah, that's right. Okay, so I got that bit confused. But yeah, I mean, was it at least fun though, having the to be able to work your way up?
That's probably one of the funnest races I've had all season.
At a track that you hate, which is hilarious to me.
Yeah, it helps that you won too. Usually that's how that goes.
And that wreck that happened with about 20 to go between you and Jacob, were you kind of like great, this is a major setback, like down, or were you pretty locked in, ready to work your way back up to the field again?
Oh, I thought I was done. I thought I was finishing 10th or worse.
Yeah, and I
didn't
know
think I could actually move around them that fast, but me and Jacob worked around like 2 laps from 13th and 12th all the way to 5th and 6th.
Yeah, you two are working pretty well together. Now, we got Martinsville out of the way. Next week, Kansas, finishing off the regular season. What's the game plan going there, knowing that your spot in the points is going to be very different at the end of this race? Then you're probably going to be in like the top 5. Is that changing how you're going to attack Kansas, or is this win helping, like, fueling you to attack it more aggressively than you were going into today's race?
I'm going into Kansas aggressive, so to start the playoffs, I'm going to be aggressive and relax.
All right, brother. Well, we can't wait to...
He's gonna bukkake all over the place.
Shut the fuck. Well, hey, brother, we can't wait to see it. Congratulations on your win today, and we'll see you next week at Kansas.
Thank you.
And that will do it for our post-race festivities. And I'm actually so happy we got to get Timmy back up in the booth, and even happier, we even got John Waterforce up here.
Got the gang all here.
Would you like a points or playoff scenario update?
Ooh, if you got it, I'd love it.
So the top 5 in points are locked in going into next week, regardless of whether they show up or not. So that would be Jet Blast, myself, Aussie, Hockey, and John Waterforce.
Woo.
As the maximum amount of points you can get in a race is 42, and they're 46 plus above the cut line. And then you have NASCAR Rillo, AMR, T-Dog, Zach, and Snowy fighting Nick on the outside, looking in to have a shot at getting into the playoffs. And Slick Nick, Snowy, and Zach are 15 apart from each other, so that'll be an interesting one to watch next week.
Oh, cool. So nobody updated the points at all. I've been looking at points from fucking 2 weeks ago.
Well, yeah, wasn't last week the All-Star race?
Yeah, last week was the All-Star race.
Oh, yeah,
so
true.
There was no points update last week.
You big dummy.
I am a big dummy. I'm also big tired.
And then as far as Rillo and Amar are concerned, they pretty much just need to start next week.
All right, so that'll be a good one for Kansas next week. Nothing to win, nothing to lose, so that'll make for some good racing. But we'll wrap things up here, get this one at Martinsville over with, and say our goodbyes. I don't know, Timmy, you got anything else you want to add?
No. That was a great race. I mean, it played out basically how you would expect a Martinsville race to play out, but it seemed like not too many hurt feelings tonight, which is usually the case for Martinsville, but seems like everyone's on good terms, which is a good thing.
True. All right, so we'll say our goodbyes. This has been an eventful day at Martinsville, and we look forward to another eventful one next week at Kansas. But for tonight, this has been the NARS Cup Series at Martinsville. My name is Walbridge. Been a pleasure to have Timmy and John Waterforce up into the booth. But for tonight, we are done, and right now we are out.